when I say there is nothing like peppermint to soothe a sore throat, to really open up those lungs after you've been hacking your lights out, okay? What's up, HD Squad? So, I don't know if you can tell in my voice, I'm a little under the weather. Today we're going to do 10 tips on what you can do to help heal your cold or flu in half the time. Are we sharing music today? Yeah, let's share music today. Support your local yoga teachers, everyone, okay? I found this song at one of the classes I went to in St. Louis. I think about the things that we've been through. I had to go again, and maybe Alright, family, so I'm gonna apologize ahead of time if my voice is a little low. It's because, as I said, I'm a little under the weather. I'm really kind of tired right now. Gonna go make myself some medicine, but this is gonna be kind of a get ready with me. Not even a get ready with me, like get healthy with me, rest with me. Tip number 1, and I know that you guys probably know that this is what you should be doing, but tip number 1 is to rest. When I'm under the weather, typically one of the first things I do is I cut my days in half, or typically I'll just cut them out completely. I'm at that point now where I'm like, like the money isn't worth it for me to extend this sickness several more days, so I'm just going to take the day off and really take care of myself so I can be up, back, and running hopefully within 5 days. Because when you string it out and you keep trying to overwork yourself to make sure that you have money while you're sick, you end up just losing more money because you can't work as many hours, you can't work as many days, because the sickness just ends up getting worse. So tip number 1 is to rest. So tip number 2, when I rest, I want to tell you guys is if you're resting, especially with a cold or flu, you never want to just be in bed without several things that you're doing while you're resting, because as you're resting, you want to be feeding your body this herbal medicine. So tip number 2, when you are resting in bed, is to always keep a herbal salve on your chest if you're dealing with a cold or flu. And also keep some herbal salves around that will help with your muscle tenderness, because I know when you have a cold or flu, your muscles can be really achy. So I wanted to share, one of the things that I actually use is I made this cayenne and peppermint salve. So this is my favorite salve when it comes to if I have a cold or flu. I'll just take a little bit on my finger, rub that into my chest. And so you're getting medicine directly into the place you need it. So the cayenne acts as a rubefacient, and a rubefacient is a constituent that actually helps to bring blood to the surface of your skin. So cayenne is one of those. And what the heat actually does when we actually get fevers, which we're going to go into that a little bit more, is your immune system actually works better in higher temperatures. So when we get fevers, it's actually your body fighting off the virus or the bacteria, whatever's in your body. So when I have a cold or flu, instead of trying to cool my body down, I heat my body up. And I think that's really important for you to be hydrated. So tip number 3 is actually going to be always keep essential oils around. So for me, what the essential oils that I've been using as I've only actually been kind of dealing with this for a day and a half, but I'm just going to show you what I use for essential oils. So the essential oils that I'm using are actually your really common tea tree. So as you know, or maybe you don't, but I'm going to tell you, tea tree is actually antiviral, antibacterial, and antiseptic. So this actually can be used internally. Sometimes I use it to help give my mouth a nice, fresh, clean, deep clean. But when you're actually fighting an infection or an acute sinus infection or a cold or a flu, you want to just have your ointment on your chest. So as you can see, I did put the salve on. So with the tea tree, several times a day, because it's an antiviral, because it's an antiseptic, because it's antibacterial, I'll go ahead and just place 1 drop of that on my chest. Oops, that was 3. And just go ahead and rub that into my chest. And so you're getting medicine right through the chest. It's working right where I need it, right where I'm having the congestion and some pain from just all the mucus that's built up. So tip number 3 is keep essential oils. I personally like tea tree, peppermint, lavender, and eucalyptus. Eucalyptus especially has a very high amount of menthol, which also helps to open up and soothe the lungs and soothe the throat, and also soothe your cough. At the same time, it helps you to expel all the phlegm that's causing the cough. So other things that I like to do when I am battling a cold is to stay super hydrated. This is super important, especially when your body is feverish or you're working your body towards being hot. Just remember this saying: dry fevers kill, moist fevers heal. I'll repeat that again. Dry fevers kill, moist fevers heal. So when you have a cold or flu, you have to stay so hydrated because your body is literally heating up. It's doing its best to make the blood more viscous so things can be expelled quicker. And because your T cells and your T killer cells actually work much faster and more efficiently when the body is hot. So that's why you'll notice feverish conditions when someone is fighting an infection. It's because the T killer cells and the T cells in the body work better when the body is warmer in warmer conditions. So tip number 4 is to drink a ton of water. It's super important. Super important. Tip number 5 is build fever. Don't bring the fever down. And you'll have to just use your discretion on this. I would not recommend building a fever if the fever is above 102.5 or about 103. That's when it kind of just doesn't get safe. So I just start to use cold towels on the head if the fever gets that high. But other than that, when I'm just feeling feverish, maybe a couple of degrees warmer than I usually am, I'll go ahead and take a ton of hot baths and drink a ton of hot tea. And there are certain teas that you can use in herbalism that actually help build your fever. These teas are called sudorific teas. And sudorific is simply, it simply means it helps you to perspire. It helps the body to sweat. And my favorite herbs as sudorifics when it comes to really building the heat in my body, building a fever if I have one, to get my immune system working, is cayenne. Cayenne is such a multi-use herb. It's definitely one of my top 10, if not my favorite herb in the world. So cayenne is really great. I like to make a tea with that or use a couple of drops of extract and just drink that a couple of times throughout the day. I love to use it in my salve. As you see, I have a cayenne and peppermint salve. My second favorite sudorific herb when it comes to really just helping you break a sweat is chamomile, especially when you're sick. It helps to soothe the throat, helps to soothe tension in your stomach, which I tend to suffer from if I'm kind of battling something. I have kind of a sensitive stomach, so it is a stomachic. It helps to soothe the muscles in the stomach. It's a nervine, and it helps to build your fever. And it also helps you to sleep, and that's one of the things that we really need. As we talked about, rest is one of the most important things when you're healing a fever. My third favorite sudorific herb when it comes to helping heal a cold or flu is ginger. Ginger root. So I really love juicing ginger. I really don't make the tea. I just feel like the fresh juice infused into hot water is what works best for me. I get more of that really nice spice. And what ginger helps to do is it also helps to heat the body. So your immune system would be working better to help your digestion. It also helps to soothe a sore throat and upset stomach and nausea, which a lot of us experience when we have colds and flus. So that was tip number 4. Number 5? Oh my God, I don't know. Okay, so tip number 5 is actually essential oils or garlic on the bottom of my feet. Why do we do this? Because all of the nerve endings for your entire body and every organ system meet into your feet. And what this does is it helps to absorb antibacterial and antiviral properties from the feet all the way up through the entire body. And trust me guys, this works, okay? I was like, putting garlic on your feet, supposedly it's gonna get into your entire body, but the last time I had a cold, gosh, I'm so stuffy, I'm sorry. Last time I had a cold, I went ahead and like did the little garlic thing on my feet, and when I woke up the next morning, my breath tasted like garlic, and I hadn't eaten any garlic the night before, so that's what I was like, oh my gosh, like it actually worked. The garlic like actually did its thing and like did these antibacterial properties. So garlic is going to be super fabulous, especially if you're one of those people that is sensitive to garlic overall and you can't actually ingest it because it makes you either burpy like onions or other things in the allium family. You can definitely put it on your feet and you won't have the same issue actually incorporating garlic as an antibacterial and antiviral into your regimen when you are recovering from your cold or your flu. Tip number 6 is to drink a ton of tea. Pretty much most of my fluids throughout me fighting an illness are always going to be teas and water, teas and water, teas and water with some essential oils. So the top 5, I'm just going to go through 5 of my favorite teas that I like to use for fighting colds and flus, and I'm going to give reasons why. Herb number 1 that I love to use for teas is peppermint. When I say there is nothing like peppermint to soothe a sore throat, to really open up those lungs after you've been hacking your lights out, okay? There's nothing really like peppermint to help open up your nasal passages, so I always keep peppermint on hand. I told you guys I use it in that salve. I also use it on my chest, especially when I'm going to bed, along with the tea tree oil to help open up my lungways, my airways. And I also use it for sore muscles and headaches that are really common when you have the flu or a cold. So if you just rub the peppermint on the backs of your necks, ow, oh my god. If you just rub the peppermint on the neck right here, which actually I'll go ahead and show you guys how I do that. Oil is pretty much my friend when I'm going through some. Okay, so you would just go ahead and take a couple drops of peppermint, and my skin personally is okay with raw oils being rubbed on the skin, but if your skin is particularly sensitive, go ahead and rub some olive oil on your skin before you apply the peppermint, or go ahead and apply some coconut oil. Any good vegetable oil will be great to apply before you apply your essential oil. So I'm just going to go ahead and rub this right into my neck here, because I did have a little mini headache just from being so fatigued, and I didn't drink enough water this morning, which I just drank about half a liter just now. So you'll just go ahead and rub peppermint into your neck, and that will help relieve tension. When you rub it into your chest, it helps relieve congestion. And when you drink peppermint tea, as we were just talking about, it will help to relieve that sore throat. And you can also use food-grade peppermint oil, which you can go ahead and put in your water and then go ahead and drink that. I've been doing that. I love to use it in my teas. So tea number 1 is peppermint. Tea number 2 that's really fabulous for colds is red raspberry leaf. Red raspberry leaf is just, I don't even understand why it's such an incredible herb. I just love it, okay? It's great for the female complaints, helping to get your menstruals right, helping to build your iron levels, helping to build your calcium levels. And it's also really great for oily skin, as well as helping you clear that cough and clear that cold. So red raspberry leaf has natural tannins, which are astringent. They have an astringent action upon the body. So what that means is it helps to pull out excess fats that may have toxins in them, and it also helps to pull out excess toxins that get stuck in your mucous membranes, especially as you're all sniffly, fighting this cold, fighting this flu. So in the most gentle way possible, red raspberry leaf actually helps to cleanse your mucous membranes and helps to dry up all the excess phlegm so you're not sneezing and coughing and hacking all day. So red raspberry leaf is one of my second favorite teas when it comes to the herbal teas. My third favorite tea, oh my god, peppermint, red raspberry. My third favorite tea when I am battling a cough or a cold is ginger and lemon. Ginger is just so warming and so soothing, and just because it's a root herb, it just like helps to ground me and really helps me get in bed. I know that ginger is actually a stimulant that is also rubefacient, but for some reason, for me personally, ginger is just so soothing to me because it soothes my digestive system. So it does have some stimulating properties. So in the morning when I am battling a cough or a cold, ginger will be my go-to, and more so at night, I'll use peppermint because that's it's not a stimulating herb. That one is more adaptogenic, and peppermint is more on the cooling side of the herb family, whereas ginger is hot. So I use warm herbs during the day, cooler herbs and teas at night, which red raspberry would fall into the yin category, the cooling herbs that I would like to drink at night, even though I drink it throughout the day. So my fourth favorite tea that I like to use when I'm battling a cold is chamomile, which I actually just ran out last night, and I forgot to grab some at the store. God. Forgot to grab the chamomile. Okay. Back to our scheduled programming. So my fourth favorite tea is chamomile. Chamomile actually is a stomachic and a nervine sedative. So it actually helps to soothe your nerves, helps to soothe your stomach especially. So if you're having any stomach stress or anxiety or any problems eating, chamomile will actually gently help to stimulate your appetite. It will actually help to soothe your stomach if you're having muscle spasms. It's also a great tea for if you're so sick that you're puking. Chamomile is going to be fabulous for you to help calm your stomach. And my fifth favorite herbal tea when it comes to fighting a cough or a cold is definitely going to be oregano or thyme tea. People are like, what? Oregano or thyme? Yeah, actually both of those herbs are antibacterial, antifungal, but especially oregano. So if you can find any fresh oregano, which I found some at my farmer's market yesterday, went ahead and made a flax poultice, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But oregano is so powerful as an antiviral, antibacterial. I've been using that stuff to help fight off acute infections, more major infections, and to be honest, it's come through pretty much every time. I haven't taken antibiotics in years, even though we're going to talk about that later. There's more I want to talk about in that, but so there you have my 5 teas that I like to use, and I'll just drink those throughout the day. So you have the heating ones in the morning, the cooling ones at night, and just keep on it, dude. Like every 2 or so hours, you need to be dosing yourself with your teas. Your body constantly needs to support with the herbal medicine. So I think we're on tip number 7. Okay, so tip number 7, when you are helping your body to heal from a cold or a flu, is to use poultices. So what a poultice is it's a mash of herbs together that typically we use in a damp cloth and we place it over the body. And what that does, it helps to bring instant medicine, instant nutrition, and instant healing to the area affected. So the poultice that I've personally been using has been flax, which, oh my God, actually we're gonna do, let's rewind. So gotta add another herb to what my favorite herbs are for colds and flus. Flax. I've actually been using that religiously, just because what the flax does is the mucilaginous properties of the flax tea actually help to soothe your own mucous membrane. So it helps to cleanse, it helps to scrub your lungs, your mucous membranes, your sinuses, and it's so soothing to the throat. And when you actually drink it, it has like this thick mouth feel. I'm going to show you guys how I make my flax tea. Fast forward now. Okay, so when you're laying in bed, you want to have on your flax poultice. And so the flax actually also, when it's applied directly to the skin with heat, it helps to pull out the viruses, the toxins, the congestion, just because it helps to cleanse the mucous membrane. So I'm going to show you guys a little video of me doing that when we get into making the medicine part of the video. Tip number 8, moving on, that I love to use when I am trying to overcome a cold or flu is fresh air. I know it's so easy to stay cooped up in the house, but you really got to go out, get some sunshine, get some fresh air. The extra oxygen will help to purify your blood, help to get things going more easily, and help them to cleanse themselves. The more oxygen you have, the easier your body is going to be able to cleanse this. As we know, bacteria and germs thrive in environments that are closed off with no oxygen. So go outside, get fresh air. I'd highly recommend, because I'm a yoga instructor, is to do some pranayama breath practice. My favorite to do is Kapalabhati, and the Kapalabhati pranayama practice is the breath of fire. And we'll go over that in another yoga video, but it actually helps to heat the body naturally just using the breath, and it really helps to clear your nasal passages. So That's tip number 8. Tip number 9. Tip number 9, when it comes to helping to heal yourself from a cold or flu, is to have an essential oil diffuser. This has helped me so much, guys. You don't even know. Okay? Essential oil diffuser, super important because you're filling your entire space with the medicine of the essential oils. So my favorite oils to use in my essential oil diffuser are peppermint, eucalyptus, and a lot of times oregano and basil. Basil is super fabulous for helping to clear up any minor sinus infections. So I really love to just have my room pumped full of medicine. So at any time of the day, I'm breathing in those micromolecules from all the beauty of the essential oils, as well as getting them into my chest, as well as making sure that I'm drinking a ton of tea and getting my herbs that way. Tip number 10, which I think I'm actually going to go over 10. Okay, so tip number 10 that I really love to use when I am overcoming a cold or a flu is to drink a lot of vegetable broth. Sometimes, which right now my appetite has been pretty sad today, so I'm going to go ahead and get some vegetable broth, and that's just what works for me. You're getting a lot of minerals from the vegetable broth, and your body doesn't have to do the work, especially when it's already stressed out, trying to fight this virus and trying to maintain the homeostasis for your body. So this is why people like chicken noodle soup when you're sick. It's just because the actual nutrients that have leaked into the water, been pulled from whatever substance it came from, just going straight to your bloodstream. So that's going to be really great. So tip number 10 is making sure you're drinking a lot of vegetable broth, or if your thing is bone broth, you do that, girl. You do that. Okay, so tip number 11, which, wow, how did I go over 10? Take plenty of hot baths with ginger or chamomile. So I love taking a hot ginger bath to help build the temperature in my body. Remember, guys, we talked about this earlier. Warm fevers heal, dry fevers kill, moist fevers heal. So just remember that when you are in your herbal bath, especially if you're using ginger or if you're using chamomile, make sure you're drinking a ton of water and a ton of hot teas. Make sure you have a cold towel on your forehead so you don't get overheated, and really just allow your body to purge the toxins through your pores. It's going to help you so much. And let's talk about what medicine we're going to be making today, since I'm going to take you guys on a little journey about, so I'm back. So I kind of lied, but didn't mean to. I've got 2 more tips. So tip number 12, okay, is, oh my God, I need some water. Give me a minute. This cough is no joke. I think we were on tip number 12 before I gagged up. Tip number 12 is to make sure your bowels are moving. I told you guys I do have a formula collate, which you can go ahead and order from my website at thehdwellness.com. It'll be listed right below in the description. But it's so important to eliminate. I don't even know how that wasn't like one of the first things that I said. So some of the herbs that I have listed that you can take, some of my favorite teas. My favorite teas are actually herbs that gently help you to eliminate. So flax actually helps you to eliminate and poop better. Peppermint helps you to move your bowels better. Ginger helps you to move your bowels better. Cayenne helps to warm up your intestines so they move better. So just make sure that you're taking something to help move your bowels. Sometimes when I am sick, I'll go ahead and do an enema. No, some people are not down with this, but girl, trust me, enemas are the truth, okay? When I say you feel so much better, like right after you're finished with your enema, girl. I listed a few. Some of them are Cascara Sagrada. Another one is Senna, which I would definitely pair that up with some fennel if you're going to use Senna, because Senna is very cathartic, and it'll actually be one of those herbs that causes like a lot of the gripping. So pair that up with fennel if you are looking to use something a little bit stronger. Other than that, Cascara Sagrada is pretty gentle and doesn't cause any gripping. Tip number 13 or 14, I lost count. I don't know how to count. Girl. Tip number 13, or whichever one we're on, is to make sure you're staying on top of your probiotics, okay? So when your body is fighting something, it's because it's kind of overwhelmed with more bad bacteria than it is with good bacteria, and we want to get your digestion on point. So your microbiome is on point. So then your T killer cells are not fighting excess toxins that are in your intestines that should have been pooped out. So get on top of your probiotics, fam. They're so important. They make such a difference in the clarity of your skin, with your hormones, with your digestion, with the bioavailability when your body absorbs nutrients. So you're going to be getting more nutrients, making sure that you're really keeping your digestive health, keep it popping, okay? So those were all my tips, and let's get in the kitchen and make some medicine. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to make an elderberry syrup. I'm going to show you guys how to make a flax poultice, a flax tea, and then a herbal infusion. I'm also going to show you guys how I make that little garlic paste I'm going to put on the bottom of my feet. You're going to watch me hop in bed and pretty much just rest it up because I've got to get better. So I just wanted to show you guys what I do to help take care of myself, and hopefully this helps some of you guys. So let's get started on medicine. What's up, family? So I decided to keep this video a little short and divide this into 2 parts. So this part is just going to be the information. Part 2 will be the demo video, but you know what to do. If you liked this video, go ahead and click the like button, share it with your friends who may be having some colds, and I'll see you on the next video. I'll probably upload it tomorrow. All right, love you. Bye.